Welcome back to the channel where you get all things real estate. This is Nathan Payne, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that I think is funny that people ask, but I'm going to answer it. Can I sell my house if it's not paid off? Of course, I'm going to let you know. Stay tuned. So I'm really excited to talk to you today about all the things that you're going to learn from this video, but this one might get you a little excited. We're going to learn today if you can sell your house, how you can sell your house, if you should even sell your house, is that even a good option for you, and why you shouldn't even sell your house if you're considering it. Let's go right into it. All right, so the first question I want to answer is, can I sell my house? Can you sell your house? Well, the answer is, of course you can. You can sell your house if you want. If you buy a house, the next day you can sell it, of course. Now, is that a good idea? Probably not. Well, it depends what kind of house you bought and what kind of discount. But if you just bought your house to live in it and the very next day you want to sell it, well, I mean, you just spent all that money on potentially commissions. You spent all that money on closing costs and loan origination fees. I mean, whatever you had to pay. But yes, you can sell your house. Now, as a real estate investor and as a wholesaler or whatever, a flipper, you're actually not supposed to sell your house within 90 days. I think there's a 90-day seasoning period where if you buy a house and you flip it, you can't sell it to someone that has, I think it's an FHA loan, because there's like a seasoning period, because they don't want people just buying, fixing it up and selling it quickly. So you can sell it, but as an investor, but sometimes you might get in trouble. I've actually seen a lot of people that have sold their properties that way, that quickly, and that nothing's happened. I think I've actually sold a house in less than 90 days after flipping it, but it might have been a little bit after, I'm not sure. But there are a little bit of penalties, they say, as an investor. But if you're a homeowner and you buy something and sell right then, yeah, there's nothing to stop you from selling your house. Now that we've covered that you can sell your house whenever the heck you want, right? You know, again, if you're a flipper, there are some seasoning periods, but let's just talk about if you're a homeowner, okay? You can sell your house whenever you want, even if you still owe money on it, even if you have a mortgage. Now let's talk about all the ways that you can sell your house, okay? So let's go over number one, FSBO. Have you guys heard of that, FSBO? It's for sale by owner. It means you can put a sign in your yard that says my house is for sale, and you can sell it to anybody you want. No one's gonna stop you. Now, a lot of people put their homes on Craigslist. They put them on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, wherever you want to put. A lot of people do that. And you're gonna get a lot of phone calls from buyers, from real estate agents, from me, from investors. I'm warning you, if you do FSBO, you're gonna get a lot of calls from agents, because what agents do is they sit and they call FSBOs all day, and they're basically like, hey, I see you've had your house listed. How's it going? Do you need help? I can list it for you. I'll make it easy for you. You don't have to worry about all these people calling. So that's how a lot of agents get listings, is they let people try to sell the house themselves, and then they struggle, or they get annoyed or tired with all the work, and then they take over. So you can try it. And I've talked to a lot of people who have sold their houses for FSBO. And this goes back to one of the previous videos I talked about of being in a seller or a buyer's market. If you're in a seller's market and then your property and there's a low inventory and houses are in great demand, yeah, selling FSBO is a lot easier than in a buyer's market, because if you're selling your house FSBO like by yourself and there's tons of properties, the chances of you selling is pretty low if there's other competition out there and agents that are trying to push their properties. Because I'll tell you another thing, if you do FSBO and you don't offer a buyer's commission, agents are not going to bring the property that you're trying to sell to their clients, because they want to get paid. They only can, most agents only sell 1 to 2 properties, if that, a year. So if you're not offering any commissions to the agents as a FSBO, good luck selling that house. But you can try it. But again, in the buyer's market that we're in right now, I don't suggest selling your house FSBO, because there's better options right there. Selling with the agent, even listing it on a flat fee listing service, there's better ways to do it. It actually brings me to an interesting idea on FSBO. When you sell your house FSBO for sale by owner, less people are gonna see it. And I'm actually doing a deal in Columbia, South Carolina, where someone listed their house for sale by owner. We made an offer, they accepted it, and we got it at a great deal. Now, if they would have listed it with a real estate agent, I'm sure that real estate agent would be like, you shouldn't sell at that price, you can sell it to someone else. But we were able to negotiate. We told them, hey, this is what we got, and they accepted it. But I'm just letting you know, FSBO is okay, but there's better ways to do it, in my opinion, especially with the way the market is right now. Number two, another way you can sell your house now that you know you can sell your house is for cash. That's where we come into play as real estate investors, wholesalers, fix and flippers, we want to offer you cash. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean we're going to go to your house with a large briefcase of cash and say, okay, get out, this is my house now? No, that's not what cash means. Yes, of course, you can buy a house for cash, but that doesn't mean just because you give them the money, it's your house. You still have to sign a real estate purchase contract. You got to go close at a title company or with an attorney. And most of the time, if you're savvy and you've been in this industry long enough, cash usually is hard money. Most flippers, real estate investors are going to go get a hard money loan. And if you don't know what a hard money loan is just going to get money from someone else, and you're willing to pay them 12% interest only payments, and 2% of the purchase price of what you're buying the house for, just to borrow the money. So when someone says I have cash, that's normally they mean they have access to enough funds to buy the property through private money or hard money. So that's another way you can sell your house, is through to a cash investor. Another way you can sell your house is on terms. Now check out my other video that I've talked about what is seller financing, but just to recap, just to be really simple about seller financing. Traditional financing is when someone buys your house with a bank loan. Seller financing is when you're the seller and you finance whoever's buying it. Now, seller financing is good for you because you can be the bank, you can make interest on the payments that you're getting every month, you can get a down payment, you can charge more money, and you're probably like, well, who would need seller financing? Well, there's a lot of people out there that can't qualify for a loan, especially right now with interest rates being so high. But if the people that can't qualify for a loan, they need seller financing, and those people would be 1099s. Those are, like sales reps or people that don't have W-2s. Those are illegal immigrants or people that just don't have papers, so they can buy it on seller financing. There's people that have terrible credit that maybe went through a bankruptcy. Those are people that maybe you feel like would be a good option to buy your house, that have money, they just don't qualify for a bank. So that is another way you can sell your house, is on creative financing or seller financing. So before I move on to the next points in the video, I want to ask you to please subscribe to this channel, because if you're new to this industry, I want to help you out, and I'd love to talk to you. I'd love for you to leave a comment in this comment section and ask me some questions, and I'll get back to you, because that's what I do. I look at the comments. I love to see what you got to say. I love to interact with you. So leave a comment and subscribe so you can be a part of the journey. So I can be a part of your journey, and I can help you get through this process and help you make some money. If you're considering selling your house, there's a couple questions you need to ask yourself. You should ask yourself, should I even be selling? Now look, you have a property, and right now owning real estate, it's an asset. It's a good thing to have. It helps you offset your taxes if it's rental property, but it's a good thing to have. So selling is not always your best option. So before selling, now that you know all the ways you can sell, you got to ask yourself, should I? Because there's a lot of different ways, if you need the money, that you can get money and not have to sell. Now, let's go over some of those things. If you don't have a home equity line of credit, a HELOC, you can take a HELOC out on your property if you have enough equity, and you can use that money. You can also keep your property as a rental. I actually transformed my house. I have a basement, and I've transformed it into a rental property where there's a separate entrance, and I actually don't have a mortgage anymore because I'm able to rent out my basement, and it covers my mortgage payment. So that's super cool, and that's why if you are considering selling your house, maybe you shouldn't, because maybe you can rent out some of the rooms, maybe you can rent out the basement. And another thing, instead of selling your house, maybe you should flip it. If your house is outdated and you're thinking maybe sell it to an investor, well, that investor is going to put some money into the house and sell it for more than what he's going to buy it from you for. So why don't you fix it up? And if you're not sure how to fix it up, call me, call an investor and say, hey, look, I'd love to fix up this house. Let's partner on this deal. You don't have to sell a property to someone in order to flip it. You can partner with other investors. Some investors would be willing to do it. They might not give you like 50% of the profit. They might give you a little bit less because they got to do all the work. But if you want to know how the process works, that's a good option to sell your house. If you're going to sell, that might be a good option for you. If you are considering, after everything I've said, still selling your property, which is totally fine, I want to let you know that I will be ready to buy your house, or another real estate investor will be ready to buy your house. But I would suggest that you look at all your options, because check this out. My wife's grandfather that lives in Canada, he bought his house like 50, 60 years ago for, I think it was like $6,000. And he actually did his deal on terms as well. So he gave the guy like $10 and then said, hey, I'll pay you the rest over time. He wasn't even a real estate investor, and he figured out how to do that. So he bought this house for like $6,000, and he just sold it for $1.3 million in Canada. And it's just crazy how much the properties have appreciated. So I'm telling you right now that if you have a property that's worth probably like $250,000 right now, wait 50 years, it'll probably be worth way more. So reconsider selling if you don't have to, but if you do, I'm here for you. I got your back. And if you don't want to sell it, hit me up anyway and I'll help you know your options. Another thing to consider is, when should you sell your house? Now, the hottest time to sell a property is in the summer, and it's pretty obvious why. When kids are in school, they're in school like during the year, and then they get the summer off. And that's when people want to move. They don't want to take their kids out of school during the school year and move them somewhere else. So if you want to sell your house and get the most money you can for it, and after everything we talked about, if you decide to sell it in the summer. Winter are slower months. Not saying that people don't buy during the winter, but you're going to get more money. It's just hotter time. And that's with the market shift the way it is right now. People are hoping that next summer the property values go back up and they stop dropping and more buyers come out. So sell your house in the summer if you can. If you found this information helpful and you're considering selling your property, it doesn't matter where it is in the United States, give me a call, schedule a time. I'll give you a free consultation on the best way to sell your home, whether I buy it or I point you in the right direction on whether you should fix it, flip it, keep it as a rental, or list it. I got your back. Give me a call.